Joining me on the line today, I've got Holliday from Transformational Hub. Welcome to the call, Kel.
Hey, going, Dave. Good to be here, mate.
Yeah. Good to have you. Look, super excited about this topic that we've got coming up because, CRM, right? It's been around for a long time. It's been bandied around and it's evolved a massive amount over the past couple of years. And I think for most people in business, if they haven't either reviewed their current CRM strategy or if they're not using a CRM, they're going to leave themselves behind. So I just want to get a bit of an idea from you about what's coming down the pipe with CRMs right now. What's the exciting news?
Oh, mate, look, and it is, and we've all heard the explosion about AI and all those sort of things, and
Yeah.
and so what's coming out of the CRM market at the moment is a lot of integration, all right, and a lot of expansion, and so a lot of people still think CRM very tunnel or very narrow-mindedly. The evolution of CRMs has gone now to total productivity. So we've found that in the CRM industry, people are looking, oh, I just want to send an email and I just want to send or a text message. And they think that's all they need because that's all they're aware of. That's the history of what the CRM market used to be. And then we used to get things like a Zapier and we bolt things together and we'd end up with 20 different logins. Those days, there's still that availability of really good quality, different applications. But the day of the all-in-one system has finally arrived. And a lot of people have tried it for many years, but now with AI and different ways of doing things, the all-in-one system is about. So I want to share with the folks really about what is the tech stack. Like you got to think a little bit broader these days. It's not just about saying I want a CRM, but how does that fit into your total tech need for your business?
Yeah.
To both look after the need you might be identifying now. And as I'm sure, David, you spoke to many of your clients, they really need to think broader than that. They've got to think holistic in their business rather than just in little boxes.
Yeah. And I think what you touched about holistic is like, it's a bit of a game changer because even simple things like telephone integration, Zoom integration, calendar integration, all of these things just make life easy because as you're aware, people are using more and more platforms now to communicate. We used to have email, physical mail and telephone, and then we went into the world of social media. And there's a number of platforms, right? And sometimes a conversation will start on email, or social media, move to email, then jump onto a telephone and then a video conference. And we've got to have some level of continuity.
Yeah.
And I think when you've got multiple systems, the problem is, where was I talking to Cal last? I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And it's not only that, the world is a lot smaller than it used to be as far as communication. We've seen that during COVID. And so some people are almost not watching their email. So what do you do then? If you're going to market and use a CRM and you're out there thinking you're going to get a CRM to fix your marketing problem, and people are not on an email, they're actually using things like WhatsApp or they're in their social media feeds.
Yeah.
How do you communicate with those people who are spending virtually no time in their email space anymore?
Yeah.
So they're the things that you want to communicate with us. And how do you have a variety of communication channels?
Yeah.
So you're not just bombarding people's inbox in their emails, other ways to communicate. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, we were talking about this just before we turn on the recorder, is most people, when they go to market for CRM, they look at what's around and they look at whether it fits their needs, but really like creating that functional specification isn't about what I want my CRM to do. It's what do I want my business to do?
Yeah.
And then how can I use you call it a tech stack. How can I use a tech stack to streamline that level of communication so that we're more efficient in what we do?
Absolutely. And look, we all say it, time is money. All right. And so if you're using 10 different applications, logging out of this one and logging into that one to do different things, and you're copying and pasting, or you're setting up, what's called Zapier, or we call them Zaps in the industry, you're zapping information between one program and the other. It all takes time.
Yeah.
And so I don't know about you, mate, but I much prefer to have a little bit of time off than be there paying for 15 different applications and sitting there all day moving data from one spot to another.
Yeah.
And so that's really what it's about. So there's a big time savers now with the current modern day applications.
So really and I suppose this is the interlude to what we're going to be talking about at our presentation, is this whole idea of what can a CRM do for you right now? How can you eliminate some of the complication in the communication and in how you manage the data within your business? and really knowing what to look for when you do go and select this CRM. How do I know, what are the things that it can do now that it couldn't do in the last sort of 5 years? So I think for anyone who's interested in looking at their current CRM to see if it's up to spec, and seeing if you can simplify the communication, simplify the costing models. Anyone who's not using a CRM properly or has some sort of band-aid approach, which, a lot of people using MailChimp, and then they're using, Gmail, and so they're doing this sort of poor integration. I think those days are gone. And what we're looking at now is this true integration where we can actually save time and actually be more productive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and one of the things I want to cover in here, and I think if you're in that space of going, gee whiz, I've spent a lot of time and money on my current systems, and I feel a bit nervous about making a move as well. A lot of people get stuck because they see that their past expenses and their past input into investment into their tech stack is too much to make a jump. But let me just say that the cost savings will soon save any move later on as well.
Yeah,
So,
and a lot of what you just described is the IP of the workflows of how people do things. They say it's all set up in this system. I don't want to change it because it's all built in. And I
yeah.
think the ability to move those sort of workflows across has become so much more simple.
Absolutely. There's a lot of importing and exporting of data we can do these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'd be very surprised how easy it is to make a move.
Yeah, fantastic. So looking forward to this deep dive. I know it's coming up in a few weeks' time. I think we've already set the date. It'll be around March 20th. So I need people just to look out for that date and make sure that they get to that event. So Kel, thanks so much for the preview.
My pleasure.